Hi and welcome back to the channel.
I'm Edison.
And I'm Genghis Chan. Today our topic, can you guess what it is?
It's right here.
Oh my god! Wow!
Yeah.
I'm not blind.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's about Thomas Edison. He's the world-renowned scientist who invented the light bulb, right?
Yeah, okay, yes, definitely.
Yep, that's true. But his success shouldn't outshine his more malicious actions. In 1884, a young Nikola Tesla came to America and met with Edison, who gave him his first job. This was an era where industrialization boomed, yet the nightlife was lit up by only candles. So it was also this period that I think that Edison also came up with the idea of a light bulb, or at least he modified the versions of the light bulb previously and made it his own.
No one knows what's the actual history. There's people who said Nikola Tesla invented it, he reinvented it. Or Nikola Tesla invented before him and he invented after him. No one knows what's the true history.
I think it's also because no one recorded it.
Yeah, but as is, the most accepted one is by about 1884, the light bulb already has been come out. Edison has sent one out, like one model of the light bulb. So with that in mind, the light bulb was already present in about 1884, so it was quite, not say commonplace, but it's already around. It's now more affordable and it actually works, so it can light up during the night.
If not what?
Yeah, but
Supposed to dim down, is it?
but there's still a huge issue with this. And the biggest problem with it is, yes, you got a light bulb, but what's the point of a light bulb if you have a system that can power it? So it's like,
all those bicycle generator.
yeah lah,
Cycle
it's like a cycle of power, but so the light bulb without the power generator is just useless.
I'm glad you tell us that.
So of course then Edison addressed this issue lah. He said, this is a big problem, or a small one, depending on how you look at it. So he invented a system to actually power this, and it's called the DC circuit, a DC power generator. But they were actually quite impractical because they were just very fragile, so it's very easily broken.
Okay,
So
it's not about impracticality. Okay, so DC circuit involve a huge power energy loss in the transit.
Yep, correct.
So I have a power station here, and to reach here, maybe at the power station I have 1000 watts. When I reach the house that's 100 meters away, I'm only left with 5 watts. 995 is gone. So it's impractical. And at that point in time, maybe around 60 to 70% of electricity is wasted this way.
Yeah, that's correct. So, but that wasn't just the only issue. The first issue there was actually, it was a bit fragile to begin with. The second issue is also this, and it will be touched on later. So, Edison was the boss of Tesla. Then he realized there's a problem. The machines were actually pretty fragile to begin
No,
with.
he's the boss of Nikola Tesla.
Yeah,
Tesla.
he's the boss of Nikola Tesla. So he realized this was an issue. Then he don't know what to do. Then he came to Tesla and said, "I'll give you $50,000 if you can address the issue of this being fragile." So fast forward a few months, problems of the generators were actually addressed. So they become more like, he reworked the systems and they become more stable, less fragile, can resist more lah. Yet Edison backed out lah. He said what he mentioned was, that's just my American humor, without giving him any money lah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a scumbag.
Right.
How could know he's the greatest inventor of this century?
This is his brilliance, right?
Yeah.
So then Nikola Tesla, disgusted by the greed and betrayal, he backed out on his own, searching for his own solution. But it's rough lah, because he came to America with, I think, commonly now it's like 4 cents in his pocket, losing his luggage on the way. So after he struck out on his own, he probably has virtually no money, and he struggled. So for years he struggled to get by. He had to do very menial work as well, just to get by. If not, he would just starve. So he struggled to make AC work, which is this system he created. He thought alternating current was the way things should work, and that's what we commonly now use today. But back in the past, this was revolutionary technology, and few people had done it. As such, it's very hard for him to get caught on because he's working maybe like 6G already, but we're only at 5G. Then the world even haven't used 5G already, then you're talking about 6G, so it's like a bit far in the future ahead to think about, and hence it was very hard to get investors. But then he caught the eye of an investor, George Westinghouse. Are you familiar with him?
I know.
Yeah, he was a major inventor that actually was quite well off to do. Then he saw Tesla's work, and he was quite impressed. He thought this was decent, so they partnered up, and then this set the scene for the war of currents, the current war of currents.
I see.
Back at that time. So the war of currents was quite interesting. It's basically Edison's side versus Nikola Tesla, seeing whether alternating current would work or direct current would work. Edison's side was backed up by JP Morgan if I remember correctly, and Tesla's side was backed up by Westinghouse. And this was the fight lah. Basically, they came up with whoever won this would actually get the right to build electricity for the entire world, or at least for the America. And so this was very important. So of course when Tesla seemed to be doing well and came up with his first stations and stuff, Edison actually tried to stop it at all costs. And what he did was quite jarring. So he electrocuted some dogs, elephant even.
Isn't that why the electric chair is invented?
Yeah, the electric chair's invention should also be credited to Edison, who funded it quite a substantial amount. And of course this chair also used alternating current to show how deadly it was. But then Tesla was not to be outdone. He also did his own, and he came out with the Tesla coil to show that alternating current does nothing. So with all that current, so he used the Tesla coil and touched it himself, and he was surrounded by all the current. But in that form it's actually not dangerous. So he proved that alternating current can also be not dangerous, at least to the public. And ultimately this resulted in his group winning the contract for the world's first electricity powered world fair. So the Westinghouse company managed to win this contract, and this left Edison bitter. Of course Edison the whole time prevent, then
I mean, the fact that he's preventing is because he knows AC is better than DC.
yeah.
That's why there's a need to compete. If not, he'll just lose all his market share.
What's more is he tried to scrub off this Tesla at the very beginning, so they really don't have very good ties, right? And now they cannot finish him off, now getting stronger. Now let's continue on with this success story of Tesla. So far he's been doing quite well. He caught the eye of Westinghouse, then he won the war of currents, and then he won majorly for Westinghouse and his company. So what's the next step? So he managed to win everything here so far, but what's the next step? So with him and his creative mind, what he decided to do was actually to harness the power of the Niagara Falls. This was a childhood dream of his. So he came up with the idea of using a turbine to serve as a power generator for his system, and it worked. It was operational for about 60 years, running from about 1890 to about 1865. And this actually powered quite a large section of the States, and it really shows that his brilliance really shone through. And I think it really shows that anything can happen. He was an immigrant, he entered the US, he made solid relationships with Edison, and he came out on top. But I think this is more of Edison's brilliance. He pushed Tesla to really show what was more.
I think he was so brilliant in making others brilliant by
Imagine
putting himself down.
Imagine if you just paid the 50K. All this
wouldn't happen.
Would have been credited to him.
Yeah, all the copyright of this technology will be under his name. Like how he stole the copyright and name of light bulb.
Yeah, but he was just greedy, and then he decided, this guy got nothing.
And I think it's also sort of complacency.
Yeah.
Because at a point in time he was already very successful with his light bulb business. Because everyone wants to use light bulbs.
Yeah.
No one wants candles anymore.
I think he had about 1,000 patents by the end of his life. So, he already was really quite big. So at that point in time he had a few hundred at least.
Yeah.
That's
right.
still
So
a
he's
lot,
very
though.
smart made it. So he's decided that he doesn't need to worry about things much, and then he took a back seat. So that ultimately shows he probably shouldn't have done that. That's not really so brilliant of him. But I think his key focus is his brilliance in making Tesla shine. Although by trying to stop him at all costs.
It's like Tesla's greatest friend was his greatest enemy also.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So that's the end of our story for today. So this was the success of Nikola Tesla, and this is the end of the story, and we'll see you next time.
Bye
Bye.
bye.